Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this recap of the NXT Deadline. Live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside my good buddy Michael Bullock. Normally we never do this, but we are awaiting the arrival of Anthony Florio. If Florio should come on, then great. If he doesn't, then we will see him. He will be hosting on Tuesday night. I think it's probably a computer issue. I'm not going to be too mad about it, and that's probably what it is. So, Michael Bullock, great to have you, my friend. We're going to kick it right on off. We started off with the NXT Championship matchup, as it was Oba Femi going one-on-one with Ricky Saints. And this is an added bonus because the winner of this match will be facing Cody Rhodes this Saturday night at the Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. As far as the NXT WWE exhibition to honor John Cena on his retirement night. So, with that said, the winner of the bout in 17 minutes and 17 seconds, and new NXT champion, the Ruler, Oba Femi, wins the world title. This was at least 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. It was a solid matchup, to say the very least. Ricky Saints has got nothing to be ashamed of. He definitely tried to fight like a warrior, as always, and Oba just overpowering Ricky Saints, and it was that the Ruler walks away the new NXT champion. 3 to 3.5 to 3.75. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
What are we talking about here?
The NXT title fight in 17-17, Oba Femi, the champion.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a solid match. I'll give this about, what did you give it, by the way?
I gave it 3.5 to 3.75.
Yeah, I'm in the same range, 3.5, 3.75. I mean, some people, Fletch, actually thought that, this was a surprising outcome because,
yeah,
I mean, I thought that Ricky Saints was going to have a really long run with the title, but Fletch, I've actually been hearing some rumors. Remember the whole thing of who was the masked person that cost Team Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series? At first, we're all thinking Austin Theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've been hearing some rumors, and this is only from what I'm hearing. So, as the old saying goes, take it with a grain of salt, or read to it what you will. I heard that the masked person could possibly be Ricky Saints. Because
now
there has been,
would be interesting.
Because I mean, in the past we've heard some rumblings of maybe him joining the Vision. So maybe this is a way of getting him on the main roster. I really don't know, but again, take it with a grain of salt. Read into it what you will, but anywho, we got a new champion, and you know what that means, Fletch, because remember, it was Friday night on SmackDown when they announced that the winner of that championship match would take on the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes on Saturday night's main event. But now we know it'll be Oba Femi, and this ought to be something. Oba Femi and Cody Rhodes on Saturday night's main event. This will be, I mean, could you imagine if Oba Femi defeated Cody Rhodes? This would be the biggest win for him ever. I mean, you pin the undisputed champion. That's basically putting your name and basically saying, hey, Oba Femi, stay, folks. So we'll see. So 3.5, 3.75 on this. So that being said, Fletch, I think it's time for the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge.
No, it's time for me to give my thoughts
Florio
on this match.
Yeah, I was about to say, before we do anything, we want to welcome in Anthony Florio to the show. Anthony, you didn't miss much. We only got into there's just the first fight of the night, which was Obafemi versus Ricky Saints. Obafemi winning the title in 17-17. History made, unprecedented crowning. And now Obafemi has a date with Destiny at the Saturday night's main event as he gets to go one-on-one with the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, at the Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C.
Going to be very exciting, I'll tell you that. First few minutes made it look like this would be a walk in the park for Femi, but Saints kept finding ways to neutralize his offense by focusing on his arms and legs to take away his power. They took their time working up to the more exciting stuff, so the first half of the match felt a little slow in places. They started picking up the pace around the halfway mark. Taking their time and building up the pace slowly allowed them to sell for each other and make this feel like a hard-fought bout. There was no doubt that this would be good, but it may have ended up surpassing their previous encounter. I'm going to give this a solid 4 stars, teetering on 4.25. I mean, very good match. Somewhat surprising outcome. Honestly, I kind of thought Ricky was going to retain, but a couple of theories that I've come up with about this. Why would they have Ricky Saints lose the title so quickly? I mean, after only a couple months or so. I heard through my reliable sources that Ricky Saints could be on his way up to the main roster because I heard a rumor that they may have Ricky Saints be the mystery assailant that helped the Vision win the War Games match at Survivor Series.
Actually, Michael Bullock just mentioned that just a couple of minutes ago before you got in, and he actually said the exact same thing as you just said.
And I'm going to give Michael Bullock the credit because he was my reliable source on that. So, great investigative reporting on that. Now, as far as Obafemi is concerned, correct me if I'm wrong, but the WWE Championship is not on the line in this match with Cody on Saturday, correct?
No, title is not on the line. It's an exhibition.
I think Oba should win it.
I agree.
I think Oba should go over Cody.
I agree.
You build a new star in the process, and you could put. I mean, Oba would have to lose the NXT Championship at some point. I think that's going to happen at New Year's Evil, especially with how the men's Iron Survivor turned out. Well, we're not going to address that just yet, but have Oba go to the main roster, and then maybe, just maybe, this would be a championship committee moment. And you can have him challenge Cody for the WWE Championship in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble. And then Cody gets the win back there. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But that's just my personal opinion on how things should go. So I'm very much looking forward to Saturday night. What a win. And if Ricky had won, that would have been interesting because Ricky Saints and Cody Rhodes, let's not forget, they're boys. They got history. I mean, going back to AEW. And what do you think Tony Khan would have been doing if he had saw that match? The chants would have echoed out, Tony fumbled.
Yeah.
So, but no, Tony Khan can breathe a sigh of relief because the ruler is once again the ruler. So, somewhat surprising outcome, but it gives us it was going to be interesting either way, but I think Oba's the more interesting option, and Oba and Cody on Saturday night, man, that's going to be something. 4 stars for me. Not much more to say. Now let's get to the women's Iron Survivor match, and I will gladly lead off on that.
All right, and it was the women's Iron Survivor match. Just to give you a little bit of a rules here before we get going. Started out with 2 women. Every 5 minutes, a new competitor entered the ring, all the way up to 25 minutes. Now, if there was a pinfall, a submission, a disqualification, or a count out, that counts as 1 point. The victim of that point would have to go into a penalty box. Now, traditionally, it would have been 2 minutes, but they did dummy it down. They dropped it down to only 90 seconds. But when it was all said and done, the winner of the Women's Iron Survivor with 3 points, Kendall Gray, wins it all. The Evolve champion won it. Just to let you know, Soruka ended up with 2 points. Lola Vice with 2 points. Kalani Jordan had 2 points. And Jordan Grace had 2 points. Kendall Gray getting the winning fall with 4 seconds left on the clock. Getting 4 seconds left. Getting the 1, 2, 3 as she took down Lola Vice with the shades of gray and won it for her. And now she gets to go to New Year's Evil on January 5 to fight for the NXT Women's title and the reigning champion Fallon Henley, Anthony Florio. We got this one wrong. JC Jane
is the NXT Women's Champion. Fallon Henley's the speed champion.
Yeah, Fallon Henley's the speed champion. But regardless, JC Jane won it. Yes. Florio got it wrong. I got it wrong. I'm sure as hell Bullock got this wrong. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Who would Bullock have gone with? Bullock, if you had been on our show, who would you have gone with going in?
If you would have... Well, who did you guys go with?
I said Lola. Anthony said Soruka.
No, I said Jordan Grace.
Oh, you said Jordan Grace.
Yeah, I thought Jordan was going to win.
I would have gone with Kalani Jordan.
We all would have been wrong.
Then we're all wrong. Then we're all wrong. Yeah.
So
Anthony, it's yours.
There. My oh my. Wow. I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to do the best that I can. You know that. I shall do my best, as I always say. So, I got to go 4.5. I know I might be overrating it, but I don't care. It was just too good, especially in that final minute or two when we had a 5-way tie. What would have happened if it had ended in a tie? Then what would have happened? I mean, that's what Bullock and I were thinking because we had a special chat last night. But anyways, this match format is unconventional, but the 5 women booked to compete did a great job making it work for them. It's hard to pick a standout because all 5 women contributed to this being a fun-ass bout. They ended up at a 5-way tie with 2 pins each with just 2 minutes to go. Kendall Gray able to score that last fall before the timer ran out to become the new number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. It's great that Kalani Jordan has found more confidence in her character, but she still doesn't feel right as a heel for some reason. She just seems better suited to being a babyface, because of, the look and the personality. Kendall Gray does so many little things that make it clear she is miles ahead of many of her peers in the development system. WWE would be wise to invest in her because she could end up being a top star on the main roster if she keeps progressing at this rate. I mean, those are just a couple of my standouts from this. I got to give it 4.5. This was incredible. This was absolutely incredible. It lived up to the hype. This is why we love these matches so much. It's a damn shame we only get them. I mean, it sucks that we only get it once a year, and it has to be at the end of the year. And I've even read that some people are hoping that one day they'll bring this to the main roster, just like they did with War Games. So I would love to see this on the main roster somewhere down the road. But this, I mean, Oba winning, that was a somewhat surprise outcome. This was a surprise outcome. None of us thought Kendall Gray was going to win this match. None of us. And Kendall Gray, currently the Evolve Women's Champion. When she won the title, that was her biggest win. Last night, that's now her new biggest win. Could it lead to an even bigger win at New Year's Evil? Right now, my gut is saying no. Because I think this time around, when it comes to New Year's Evil, I think we're going to get a 50-50. I think the women's is going to be a successful defense, but I think the men's title is going to switch hands. I'm definitely confident about that when we get to the men's side. But for right now, 4.5 stars, incredible match, incredible finish, Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest, and a very surprise outcome. Awesome. And if Kendall Gray is still the Evolve Women's Champion, and somehow, some way, she actually does win the NXT Women's Championship, she could be a double champion to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine the momentum she's going to have at the start of 2026 if this were to happen? Man, oh man. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, take a bow, my friend. NXT, Iron Survivor. No big surprise it delivered, but in this case, it over-delivered.
Oh, yeah, it definitely over-delivered. I mean, 4.25, 4.5 for me. I mean, yeah, I mean, I thought it looked like we were going to get ourselves a tie. Then the big question was, what would have happened if it did? But thankfully, I mean, the thing is, I don't think anybody had Kendall Gray winning this on their bingo card. I mean, I certainly as hell didn't. But this is definitely the biggest win for her. Could it lead to an even bigger win? Of course, we all think it's going to be a no on that one, and we think it's going to be a successful defense for JC Jane. So yeah, so it was absolute craziness. I mean, but another big thing that happened was, of course, when Sol Ruka came to the ring, Kalani Jordan grabbed her knee, I think it was her injured knee, and then slammed it on the edge of the ring. And like thinking, like, oh shoot, she's seriously hurt. Not only what does this mean for the rest of the Survivor Challenge, but let's not forget too, she's going to be taking part of Saturday night's main event too when she takes on Bayley. So, but luckily enough, she's okay, and I think she'll be ready for Saturday night. So, but definitely a big time for Kendall Gray. So there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Biggest win of Kendall's career, absolutely. Everybody played their part amazing. This was an incredible matchup. Really nothing more to add. You guys pretty much summed it up. So we're gonna just dive into the next fight. All Ego Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana for the North American Championship. Winner of the bout in 8 minutes and 33 seconds, and still the North American champion. All Ego Ethan Page. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'll give this about maybe 2.5 stars. I mean, it was. I'll just say it was solid, but not overly spectacular. I mean, the outcome was never out, but yeah, I mean, yeah, All Ego Ethan Page retains the championship. So there's really nothing more to say. So it's your.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a 2.5 stars. It's what you expect in a Mr. Iguana match. If you've been watching Mr. Iguana, you kind of know how the ammo is going to go. There's a little bit of comedy. There's a little bit of action. You get all around fun with the matchup. Now, a lot of the American fans doesn't really get it because Iguana is kind of one of those eccentric competitors where the fans in Mexico loves this guy. They eat it up every time he's in the ring. You got to see some of the athleticism of Iguana, but you also saw some of the hijinks. So it is 50-50. It is a 2.5 stars. Some are going to love what they saw in the matchup, and a lot of them are not going to like what they saw in this matchup. So you're not going to please everybody with this match, but it was fine for what it was worth. So 2.5 stars, Anthony, it is yours.
By default, this was the worst fight of the night. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. while a good portion of the bout was designed for comedy, they tried to mix in some wrestling too. Unfortunately, they had a couple of missteps along the way. They eventually found their groove, so the second half was much better than the first. Mr. Iguana hit several high-flying moves that popped the crowd, and All Ego sold all of them perfectly. And despite a good effort from the challenger, Ethan Page able to hit the the Twisted Grin to retain the North American Championship. Clean win, oh, by the way. So that's very surprising considering how notorious he is. But outcome never in doubt. I mean, him and Chelsea as double champs are definitely, that's definitely the right way to go. You got to keep that momentum going. And Ethan Page, on December 20th, he's going to be involved. I believe this is where he's going to finally go up against Dr. Wagner in AAA.
Yeah, at War of Titans for the AAA Latin American Championship, which is currently held by El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Ethan Page has a chance to become a triple champion.
Yeah.
He could have 3 belts. So we'll see how that plays out. So, but 2.5, 2 3/4 by default, the worst fight of the night. And with that, MF, we move on to a very personal women's matchup in our next bout.
Very personal women's matchup. Izzy Dane going one-on-one with Tatum Paxley. Izzy Dane winning the match in 12 minutes and 36 seconds. Fine for what it was worth. I just didn't like the psychology of the story. It made Tatum look like an idiot in this fight, and they manipulated it. They played the whole 9 yards. I kind of felt like they did a disservice to Tatum in this fight. Izzy deserved the win, fine, because they can always run it back. But the damaged character of Tatum getting easily manipulated, that she had actual friends, I thought was an interesting way to go. But I really kind of felt like the match itself definitely was underwhelming, and for me, didn't do anything in this match. Sorry to say. Hate to tell it like it is, but I'm going to tell it like it is. Yes, they got ample time for it, but at the end of the day, I can only give this nothing more than maybe 2 3/4 of a star. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. 3 to 3 1/4. Let's see. This match had a lot of aggression, but it fell a bit short compared to everything else we saw on the card. They may have focused too much on the story and not enough on the in-ring action. Thanks to a distraction from Shawn Spears, Izzy Dane was able to get the pin and the win. It feels like WWE has no real plans for Nico Vance. He barely wrestles. Even Shawn Spears has taken a backseat in recent months. Izzy Dane has good physicality and mic skills. If she can polish her in-ring work a little, she will be a valuable talent. So, 3 to 3 1/4, second worst fight of the night. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, quick thought before we get to the men's Iron Survivor main event.
Yeah, 3 stars on the match. I mean, it did feel a little underwhelming. I mean, it was more. I mean, I wanted to see a little more action, but instead of all where they really made Tatum Paxley look like a total fool. I mean, especially at the end when Shawn Spears snapped the doll head right off, and that was pretty cheap, if I'm going to be honest here. So, nothing more to say. Let's get to the men's Iron Survivor Challenge.
MF, are you there?
Fletch, you there?
Forgot to unmute my mic. Sorry, guys. So the men's Iron Survivor we had was Javon Evans. We had was Leon Slater, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, Joe Henry, and Dion Lennox for yep. So when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, the man who had 2 falls over every other competitor, Javon Evans, wins it. He got a small package with 3 seconds left on the clock to get to the 25 minutes. He wins it. He will be going to New Year's Evil to fight for the NXT Championship against Obafemi. But it looks like after that, Anthony, the Don, Tony D'Angelo has returned. So we might have one more person at the dinner table. This might not be one-on-one. This might be possible triple threat.
And I think it should be a triple threat. I agree. All right. Excellent match. This is not the 4 1/4 to 4 1/2 for the women's. This is a solid 4 1/2. I gotta say, by a smidge, this was the fight of the night. I mean, they got the outcome right on this one. We had a good feeling that Javon Evans was going to win this because they've been building him and grooming him, and he finally gets the Duke here. This match didn't pack in as many pinfalls as the women's bout, but it made each pin feel more important. Both bouts felt competitive for different reasons, which was great because it meant they both stood out for different reasons. Much like the women's match, it was a 5-way tie heading into the last couple of minutes. Dion Lennox locked one of the referees and Javon Evans in the penalty box, but Javon escaped through the opening at the top and took him down with a dive. It was genuinely hard to tell who would win at the end because everyone came close, but Evans with a small package on Miles Bourne with seconds left to get the win. Javon Evans and Leon Slater worked so well together as both partners and opponents. WWE would be wise to sign Slater as soon as his TNA deal is up. Bourne won the right to pick his spot. He chose to come out at number 3 instead of the final spot. And the dive that Miles Bourne hit over the top rope was great. Leon did his usual dive a la Montez Ford. I mean, just absolutely amazing. Great match. They got the outcome right. Now, I do have mixed feelings about D'Angelo. I mean, there's a possibility that Tony D will get added to the match at New Year's Evil, and they will make it a triple threat match instead of the one-on-one. Even though, in all honesty, if I'm going to be completely honest with you and tell it like it is, it should be Femi and Evans one-on-one. That's what I want to see. And then maybe Tony D can get the winner at a future show, like maybe Vengeance Day in February. I don't know. But make no mistake about it. Whether it's a one-on-one match or a triple threat match, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that come New Year's Evil, Javon Evans is going to make history. I believe Javon Evans is finally going to get his moment, and that Javon Evans will walk out the new NXT champion and make history in the process by becoming one of the youngest champions, if not the youngest champion in the history of NXT. At only, 21 years of age?
He would not only become the youngest champion in NXT, he would actually become the youngest champion in WWE, period, at 21 years old.
He would surpass Orton. When Randy Orton was 24, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam 2004. So,
yeah.
Amazing. What a story that would be. And you know how high I am on this young man, and I really want to see him do it. So
absolutely.
And having him beat Oba to do it, dude, that would be monumental.
The reason why I think they're gonna do the triple threat is because they're gonna want to protect Oba. Yeah. So I think Tony D'Angelo will probably be the one to eat the pin. So that's why I think Evans will win the title by pinning Tony D, because I think they're gonna want to protect Oba in that instant. They do not want Oba to eat another fall. Yeah.
like he did at No Mercy with Ricky
Yeah.
Saints. So I could see that. You're absolutely right. So we'll wait and see what Ava decides on Tuesday night, or in the future. But like I said, regardless of whether it's 1-on-1 or triple threat, Javon Evans is winning the NXT Championship. I can feel it in my bones. He's going to do it. So not much more here. Solid 4.5 stars. Fight of the night for me. So just with Shakespearean drama, we just lost Bullock. I think he probably hit a wrong button. He was probably so excited. So, which happens. It happens.
Yep.
So we will await for him to return. But my oh my, what I can honestly say these might have been the two best Iron Survivor matches I've ever seen. That's how great they were.
All right, we got Bullock back.
Right,
so
back
if you want to toss it over,
all right,
Mike,
4.5 stars for me by a smidge. The fight of the night, but then again, Bullock. I mean, between the women's and the men's, I don't know if we can put one over the other. They were both so damn good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, both of these Iron Survivor challenges for the men's and women's, I thought they both were really good. I mean, it's tough to have to pick one over the other, but I'm going to say by a smidge, I think the men's was better. 4.5 stars, and this was the fight of the night, but definitely a big time win for Javon Evans. Could it lead to anything bigger? But yeah, it looks like Tony Angelo, who returned, he might have something to say about that too. So he might. So we'll see what happens as this develops. So 4.5 stars. The fight of the night for me. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, this was at least 4.5 stars, no doubt about it. Incredible main event, great battle, and history being made again. I mean, there's really nothing more to add. This was excellent. So yeah, and all right, overall review, Michael Bullock, you lead off on how did NXT Deadline do?
I thought it was a good show. I mean, both Iron Survivor challenges were good. I mean, the NXT title match was good. I mean, the other two matches, that were solid, but definitely could have been better in some areas. But I'm going to give this about maybe 8. So it's yours, Fletch.
8 out of 10, total agreement. Excellent, good show all the way around. The only bad match that we can really kind of hark about was Mr. Iguana versus Ethan Page. But even that wasn't really like bad. But all in all, it was a solid show. So 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is my rating. Anthony Florio, you have final say here tonight.
Absolutely. As a whole, NXT Deadline was a great show, but 3 matches stood out the most. And I think we all know which three stood out. The NXT Championship bout and the 2 Iron Survivor matches are what everyone will be talking about. Obafemi winning back the title was slightly surprising because it meant Ricky Saints' reign ended after just a little over 2 months, but it does open the door for some interesting possibilities, as Bullock stated at the start of the show before I got here. The men's and women's Iron Survivor matches were both great for different reasons, but the most important thing was that it felt like the 2 best people won. Kendall Gray has been impressive in every outing, and Javon Evans is clearly earmarked for success. For some people say it's tough to say if either will win at New Year's Eve, but it was great to see them get the victories on Saturday. To put that to bed, I think Kendall's going to come up a bit short, but I have no doubts in my mind that Javon Evans is winning the NXT Championship. I've got all the confidence in the world he's going to do that. And in closing, ending the show with the return of Tony D'Angelo is going to get people talking, especially since he appears to have altered his gimmick a bit. It's going to be interesting to see what he has to say on Tuesday night. And we'll address that as part of Ridiculously Raw on Tuesday night. So, solid 8 out of 10. I have 100% agree with everything you guys have just said. So with that being said, MF, let's get the hell on out of here.
All right. And we're going to do it all again on Tuesday night. So Tuesday night will be another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. We will have Monday Night Raw and the aforementioned NXT, the fallout from it. as we will start the road to New Year's Evil. And then on we got no show on Thursday, so Friday will be our NFL Friday traditional, and then Saturday is Cerebral Smack Talk. So yeah, the Thursday shows will not come back until I want to say in about a week later, as we get ready for the college football playoffs. So 1 week hiatus, then we're back with the college football for the first round. If you did not see the college football playoff earlier today, boy, was there some drama. So, we'll just get into it just quick. Indiana number 1. Number 2 was actually Ohio State. Only dropped 1 spot. 3 went to Georgia. Oregon went number 4. No. Texas Tech was number 4 in the college football playoff. But the one thing that everybody was wondering was, what was the bottom going to look like? What was the bottom tier going to look like? Who is in, who is out? Well, here it is. The big story that came out of it was Alabama in, Miami in, Tulane in, and James Madison were the final 4 teams that got in. Notre Dame, BYU, the first 2 teams out. Notre Dame got left behind, and that triggered a tsunami of angry Fighting Irish. So much so that Notre Dame has given up their season, saying, we're not going to any bowl games. Our season is done. We are out. And they exit stage left. And boy, we'll get into this on when we do the special, when we do our first round matchup, because it triggered a lot of anger and a lot of hostility from both sides of the aisle. Some fans coming after Notre Dame, calling them a bunch of sore losers, and then Notre Dame fans yelling at the committee, saying what happened to them was they basically went Bret Hart 97. They went Bret Hart 97. I'll say it like that. Notre Dame fans are acting like Bret Hart 97, while the non-Notre Dame fans are basically calling them a bunch of crybaby, spoil sports, and go bleep yourselves. So that's the whole grand scheme of things. We'll get into it on that future episode. Until then, for Anthony Foyle, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. So long, everybody, and we'll see you all on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.